Interested in joining a great trading Discord community where fellow like-minded traders each and every day we give and share tips and ideas and thoughts about our trading, the levels we're looking to trade from, question and answer forum. Hey, look down in the description portion of the video right now, click on the link and invite yourself to the Futures Trading with Mike Discord community. Quick tip of the day, guys. In this video here, I want to cover a quick topic, and the question here is, what time of the day or what time should I start trading? Okay, here's the thing. It all really boils down to two factors. All right, one being what region or what area, zone in the world do you live in? Because you have the U.S. session, the Asian session, and the European or London session. Okay, so most people are going to trade in their particular session or during their particular session, depending on where they live at globally, okay? Now, I'm not saying that if you live in the U.S. that you can't trade the Asian session or you can't trade the European session. People do it all the time. I traded the Asian session last night, took a few trades. But the second part to this is what? The second part is there enough volume to trade? And that is probably the most key and most important thing to really pay attention to is volume. Because without volume, then you're not going to have anything to kind of hold you up, okay? And what I mean by that is that, like when we see here in the U.S. session, I live in the U.S., so I'm going to trade the U.S. session. It opens up at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, okay? That's when the New York Stock Exchange opened. So, there's also like zones in the United States. So you could be trading at 8:30 when the market opens up because that's, Central Standard Time or Pacific Standard Time, 3 hours behind, or whatever the case is, out in somewhere out west, like in California. But regardless of say, here in the United States, most traders are going to trade, whether they trade the futures, stocks, options, whatever it is, forex. They're going to trade at the opening of the stock exchange, at the opening of the U.S. session at 9:30 Eastern Time. Okay, so with that said, we always want to pay attention to our volume, because if there's not enough volume in the market, you guys know what, okay? What happens? All right, if you pay attention and you're trying to, say, for instance, you trade, let's say, outside of your session, okay? And there's not enough volume, maybe, there's not enough volume, but you have on your chart where you have zones or levels marked off, right? I trade supply and demand, so I could be looking to trade off of a supply or demand zone. And when price comes back to that area, if I get the rejection, I take my trade, but there's not enough volume in the market, price can push right through that area, okay? Because what happens is the market it's very thin, meaning it's not enough volume. There's not enough traders. So if you don't have any partners to trade with you, meaning enough traders who see the opportunity to buy when you want to buy or sell when you want to sell, and the market is thin, meaning there's no volume there, then price is probably going to could possibly shoot through that area, okay? So be mindful and take more precaution when you're trading outside of your session time, okay? Depending on the region you live in, all right? Whether that's Asian, the London or European session, or the U.S. session. Because volume starts to get thinner, then you got to kind of put more parameters in place and really think things a little bit more clear, a little bit, take the time to think them through before placing that trade. Because price could, I've seen it plenty of times. I mean, after the U.S. session, take a trade and the market just gets volatile real quick and shoots right up and starts breaking through levels real quick. Sometimes it moves real quick. Sometimes it just moves real slow. So what time should you trade or start trading? It depends all on the region or area across the globe where you live at. I would recommend you trade within your session. If you live in the United States, trade the U.S. session, 9:30 in the morning Eastern Time. And, it could be 8:30 Central Time, like I said, depending on what zone you live in here in the United States. If you live in Asia somewhere, I would trade the Asian session. If you live in, Europe somewhere, whatever the case is, I'll trade the London session. But that doesn't mean you can't trade. If you trade if you live in Europe somewhere, that you cannot trade the U.S. session. I believe like 9:30, if I'm not wrong, it could be like 3:30, 4 o'clock your time in Europe or whatever the case is. So when you start really trading the U.S. session. So there are people who live in Europe that trade the U.S. session. There are people in Asia who trade the Asian session. There are people who in the United States who trade the U.S. that trade the U.S., Asian, and European session. it doesn't really matter, but the key thing is volume. Keep that in mind when you're going to trade, okay? So I'd rather be trading where there's greater amounts of volume, because then that means that there's more people in the market, there's more traders in the market that are maybe take interest in trading at that same level. So if I'm a buyer, they maybe be interested in buying as well. There's enough volume there to carry the trade to where it needs to go. Thinner markets, then if I don't have any companions or partners to want to get into that trade with me, then what happens is there's no volume. Then it can be very thin in that area, and if there's not enough volume, price can shoot right through that area I'm looking to trade in. So I just wanted to leave you guys with that. That's a quick tip for today. Basically surrounding what time of the day should I actually be trading. All right. So if you're trading today, guys, be safe in the market. And I will see you guys in the next video tomorrow, which is Friday. And I probably will be doing my live recorded session to drop that tomorrow in tomorrow's video. So take care. See you in the next one.